Good morning, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about holiday baking since we are deep in the holiday season. So, we're not here to tell you to skip your holiday traditions and making memories with your kids and fun things like that make the holidays super special for you. But we do have some ideas on how to make those sweet treats maybe a little less indulgent so then you don't have to feel guilty about eating them. So I just wanted to share with you some of the things that I do to make that process a little bit easier. One thing that I have on hand all the time are these awesome silicone mats. My mom introduced them to me and I love them. I use them for everything. You don't then need to use cooking spray or grease your cookie sheets or use wasteful parchment paper. These do the trick. Nothing sticks to them ever. They're awesome. Another thing we never had growing up is a cookie scoop. My mother-in-law introduced me to this and I love it. I use it for everything and it's great for portion control when you're making your cookies. Another thing that we always have when we're doing our holiday baking are freezer bags, because if you need to, like us, make it a little more difficult to get to the sweet treats or just have them last longer for yourselves, freezing cookies is the way to go. They freeze remarkably well. So when in doubt, freeze the cookies. So another thing that you can do just to reduce the amount of sugar and fat in your cookies is if you reduce the amount of sugar, you can reduce it by up to 1/3 in the recipe and no one's ever gonna know the difference. And the reason is because you're usually adding other sweet things to the cookies like chocolate chips or icing on top, jams and jellies or fruits filled, those kind of things add more sugar to the cookies so that when you take some out of the base, no one is going to notice. Again, you can reduce that amount by up to 1/3. Another thing that you can do is reduce the amount of butter that you add to your cookie recipes. For me, we use the Toll House recipe and it calls for 2 sticks of butter. I use 1.5 sticks easily. No one ever knows the difference. And I also then, because of that, will reduce the amount of flour by like 1/4 of a cup so that they're not too dried out. But when you do reduce your sugar and your butter, the cookies can be a little bit drier. So the solution to that is to add a teaspoon of cornstarch. I don't know why it works, but it does. But it does keep the cookies softer longer when you add that teaspoon of cornstarch. And even if you don't reduce anything, add it in anyway and it will help that. And again, freeze the cookies to make them last longer. And another thing that you can do if you're living just by yourself or if you have a small household, you can either, just reduce the amount of the batter that you're making, or if you're making a bunch of different cookies, cut the recipe in half, and again, freeze them. Is the best way to make your cookies last longer, keep them out of sight, out of mind, and just kind of make them last throughout the holidays. So if anyone else has any awesome baking tips or tricks that you want to share, just put it in the comments below. We'd love to get ideas on how to make those treats a little bit more healthy for you. And honestly, if you don't feel like playing with your own recipes, there are probably thousands of healthy cookie recipes online. If you feel like scrolling through and finding them, just, choose your favorites and don't be afraid to experiment. So I hope this all helps you enjoy the holiday season. And if you are interested in any kind of nutrition coaching from us, just leave a message below or send us an email at admin@heirloomathletics.com. Have a great day, everyone.